You walked into HR's office like it was a therapist's couch. You told them everything. The manager who screamed at you in a one-on-one, the coworker who wouldn't stop making comments, the anxiety that had started following you home. They nodded. They said all the right words. Thank you for trusting us with this. 2 weeks later, you were on a performance improvement plan. Stay with me. This is the one HR will never say out loud, so I'm going to say it for them. Here's what nobody tells you on your first day. HR is not a neutral party. It's not a counselor. It's not a mediator sitting equally between you and the company. HR is a department of the company, funded by the company, reporting up to go through the company, measured on metrics the company cares about: turnover, legal exposure, litigation risk, engagement scores that make leadership look good. That doesn't make HR evil. It makes HR exactly what it says on the org chart, a function that exists to protect the business. Sometimes protecting the business means helping you. Often it means documenting you quietly for the day the business needs to protect itself from you instead. The danger isn't that HR is malicious. The danger is believing they're on your side and making decisions. What you disclose, what you sign, what you assume is off the record based on a friendship that was never real. Let me tell you about Bethel. Bethel had a manager who consistently missed deadlines and then blamed the team publicly in front of leadership. It was affecting her mental health. She couldn't sleep some nights. She went to HR. Off the record, she thought. She cried a little in that meeting, talked about the anxiety, the sleeplessness, even mentioned she'd started therapy because of it. The HR rep was warm, empathetic, said things like, I hear you, this must be so hard. Bethel left, feeling lighter. Finally, someone listened. 3 months later, during a restructuring, Bethel was on the shortlist for layoffs. In the file justifying the decision, one line read, as disclosed ongoing mental health concerns affecting performance and stability. Her own vulnerability, in her own words, filed as a liability. But here's where the story changes. Bethel didn't get angry at HR for existing. She got smart about what HR actually is. She filed a complaint about the layoff process through an employment lawyer who helped her negotiate a stronger severance by pointing out how her prior disclosure had been used against her, quietly, without ever needing to go to court. But the bigger shift happened after, at her next job, when a co-worker pulled her aside and said, I told HR everything. They're so supportive here. Beto said something she wished someone had told her years earlier. Supportive doesn't mean confidential. Ask yourself what happens to what you say in that room if the company ever needs it. She started keeping her own written record of everything: dates, incidents, who said what, completely separate from any HR conversation, not out of paranoia, out of self-respect. She told me, I stopped going to HR to feel better. I started going to HR to create a record. Those are two very different reasons to walk into that office. So let me be very clear with you today as your millennial HR friend. HR protects the company first, always. Not because HR people are cold, most of them are genuinely kind, and many do care about you as a person. But the department's actual job structurally is risk management for the business. That's what it's funded to do. This is a safe space to talk means safe from immediate confrontation, not necessarily safe from documentation. We just want to understand what's going on means we need this on record in case it becomes relevant later. Here's what real career wisdom looks like. Go to HR when you need something documented for your own protection: harassment, discrimination, policy violations. That's exactly what the function exists for, and used that way, it can genuinely help you. But don't go to HR the way you'd go to a friend, a therapist, or a confidant. Keep your own paper trail. Assume every conversation could resurface in a context that isn't in your favor. Get anything important in writing and keep a copy somewhere HR doesn't control. The best response to this isn't refusing to ever speak to HR again. It's not treating every HR rep like the enemy, even though the best response is better. Understanding exactly what that office is for, using it strategically when it protects her, and keeping her own record everywhere else because nobody else was going to protect her story for her. The best response is you. Finally, understanding that HR being not your friend isn't an insult to HR. It's just an accurate description of an org chart. So if you've ever walked out of an HR meeting feeling lighter, like you just talked to someone who was truly on your side, this is your sign to ask yourself what you actually disclosed and where it might live now, because the company you work for was never going to choose you over itself. That's not cynicism. That's just what companies are. I'm your millennial HR friend, and I'm always going to tell you what HR in your office won't. Drop a comment in the comments if you've ever regretted something you told HR, and share this with someone who still thinks their HR rep is their friend.